Hey, Russ Lagan, the real estate dude here. But this applies to almost everybody in almost every business that I've seen. When you're looking at people as they're going through the progression through life, most of the time in the work world, you're starting off at 0, 0. It's like, I have zero experience and I have $0 coming in from that. And the majority of people get stuck in this groove where, like, phase one is how do I make as much money, whatever that number looks like. For a lot of people, it's how do I make 100K a year? If I could just get to 100K a year, we hear that all the time in the real estate world. They'll do whatever it takes to get there, but somehow they get stalled up here, here, or here. But when we find that when people finally get to the point where they're making enough money, then the next thing that becomes really important to them is time. Because up to here, they're like, I'll do whatever it takes. I'll work 1,000,000 hours a week. I'll be 24/7. We hear that in our industry all the time. We do whatever it takes to get to that number. And then when they get to that number, they're like, well, now I don't want to do that 70 hours a week. If I could do this and make the same amount of money and do it in 40 hours a week or less, that's what I'm aiming at. So it's like kind of phase two of life. And then once they get to the point where they get the money part and the time part balance, they're making plenty of money and they've got the time part balance, then they get into this third phase, which is how do I get to freedom? Freedom is either I have enough income coming in every month passively or actively that I don't have to trade time for money anymore. I've saved enough money where I don't have to work anymore. Freedom is I'm choosing to work because I want to, not because I have to. Other people say this is their exit plan to get to the point where they have the ability to exit. That's huge. This is like game changer, life changer for a lot of people when they get to the point where, like, I have enough money to live out the rest of my life if I live a reasonable amount of time. That's when freedom really kicks in. Now you're doing what you want because you choose to. Those people that still have some fight left in them, we're seeing quite a bit of those in the industry and the world and the business that I'm in, is then they start saying, well, now I want to leave a legacy. How do I do what I do? And how do I affect as many people's lives as possible? Because now I don't need the money. I'm good on that part. Now, how do I leave a legacy? And then the people that have got to the point where they built the legacy and they've got the legacy, then they start saying, how do I help other people build their legacy? If I could help 100 people build their legacy, that's the fifth level and the fifth tier. And that tier can go on in perpetuity, right? So as you get to the point, you're like, I just need to make enough money. Now I got enough money, now I want my time back. Now I got my time back, I want to not have to do this for time anymore, trade time for money anymore. And then once you get to the point where you get that settled, now it's about legacy build. How do I leave a name for myself? How do I leave something behind? How do I leave something that leaves an impression that outlives me? 100 years, 200 years, our family is where they are because that guy, that girl helped me change our world. And then how do you help other people build their legacies? There's the food chain, steps 1 through 5 on how the world works. Where are you at? Where do you want to be? If you're stuck and you don't know how to get out of there, don't hesitate to reach out. I'm Russ Lagan, the real estate dude. Talk to you soon. Best of wishes for the 2024 year. See ya.